Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you may be joining from. Thank you for joining us today. My name is John Hansen, Product Director for Perceptive Content here at Perceptive Software, and I'd like to welcome you to today's webinar on Perceptive Mobile Capture. We're very excited to share with you the latest developments on the mobile front here at Perceptive. It should come as no surprise that mobile is a major aspect of our platform roadmap and overall R&D investment here at Perceptive. The writing has been on the wall for years as more and more digital natives enter the workforce, combined with the broad adoption of BYOD, or Bring Your Own Device initiatives, are embraced across our customer base. Mobility has become an expected capability today for enterprise software. You should expect to see an ongoing investment in mobility by Perceptive, as it has become a core aspect of our development roadmap and everything we do here at Perceptive. Thus, I'm very excited about today's webinar and the opportunity to share with you some of the latest developments and product offerings. Presenting for us today is Paul Eartink, Product Marketing Manager, and Judd Millam, Product Manager for Perceptive Mobile here at Perceptive Software. Some quick housekeeping. Since everyone is dialed in is in listen-only mode, throughout today's presentation, please submit any questions you have through the GoToWebinar question box, and we will address those questions at the end during Q&A. Again, thank you all for attending, and without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Paul. Paul, take it away.
Okay, thank you, John, for the introduction, and thank you everyone who is attending for taking the time to follow this webinar today. My name is Paul Eartink, and I'm a Product Marketing Manager in Perceptive. Also on behalf of Judd Millam, my co-presenter, I welcome all of you to this webinar on Perceptive Mobile Capture. We will spend the next 30 to 40 minutes or so on this new product that we released last quarter and that is currently being implemented at several different customer sites and internally within the Lexmark organization that we are part of. In this webinar, we will first introduce the broad palette of capture software that Perceptive already offers and our strategy to capture all information as close to its source as possible. Perceptive Mobile Capture is a great example of our distributed capture strategy, and we will explain how it will also benefit your processes. After this general introduction, Judd Millam will take you on a tour through two examples of how we use Perceptive Mobile Capture in healthcare and how we applied it to our own travel expense administration, followed by an explanation of the mobile capture architecture and some of its features. The aim of enterprise capture is to capture all available documents in one repository for efficient use in different parts of a company or a government entity. Capturing all available documents in an organization is often a challenge, and that's why we developed a wide array of powerful and flexible capture technologies. Some examples are shown on this slide. They vary from the more traditional forms of scanned documents, faxes or EDI, to new distributed capture capabilities like MFPs and to integrations with other content management and document creation systems like Microsoft Office. And of course, to our most recent addition to our capture capabilities, Perceptive Mobile Capture. Together, these different capabilities allow you to capture all forms of information that your organization deals with and store these in Perceptive content for further use. I'd like to take a few moments to share the key points of the Perceptive software capture strategy. What we want to do is shift capture upstream in the business process, meaning that information is captured as close to its creation as possible. And we will do that wherever it makes the most sense. That's why we offer many different strategies to directly capture information from systems like Microsoft Office, file capture from cloud storage, or email capture from your mail server. Of course, the new mobile capture capabilities that we're discussing today are another great example of how we capture information as close to its source as possible. Simply by allowing customers to use a mobile capture app on the mobile device, they can directly upload pictures of application forms, IDs, barcode information, or any other data to start processes at their business partner of choice. With that, we further extend our capabilities for ad hoc and distributed capture. And you may expect Perceptive to add new capabilities to our capture portfolio for new technologies, particularly if these capabilities allow us to capture information as close as possible to its origin, because that type of customer interaction will allow you, our customers, to service your customers faster and for lower costs. And as soon as the captured information is available in your back office, we make sure that the process automation efficiently routes the captured information through your organizational processes. Let's now take a look at the general benefits that mobile capture offers. First and prominent benefit is the time you will need to get back to your customers. If we compare the time difference between traditional methods like mail to get information to the head office, it may take several days to ship, scan, and reply. Distributed capture and other ways of communication, like email or telephone, have shortened this time to 1 or 2 days, but these will often still require manual communication or capture by front office personnel. Mobile capture eliminates another chunk because your customers can collect all information and upload it from their mobile devices directly into your back office processes. That means that you can get back to your customers within minutes instead of days. Let's have a look at what the challenges are that you are currently facing. What do your customers expect from you? First of all, the mobile channel is turning into a preferred channel for many customers. Regardless of time and place, they want to be able to do business, and if your channels are closed or too slow, your customers may go to a competitor. Many customers expect a possibility to engage with you throughout the day. And at the same time, competition forces companies to lower prices or offer differentiated pricing based on the channel the customer chose. Usually the web and mobile channel have lower prices because most of the data entry is done by the customers themselves. That will allow your workers to focus on other value-added tasks instead, or your organization to lower costs. A third challenge, and possibly the hardest to live up to, is customer expectations. The question many organizations are asking is pretty simple. How can we leverage the impact of digital innovation to better engage our customers, and how can we do so faster, cheaper, or more effectively than our competitors? Many companies have translated that to their information management strategy, and customers currently expect that they are able to choose their own communication channel. If your remote and mobile workers lose time to get their information to the back office, it will allow competition to respond quicker. With mobile capture, you'll have the opportunity to not only improve response times, but also to provide a modern image to the way you do business. And that by offering a modern and fast and innovative way of customer communication. So let me summarize how these challenges translate to the benefits of mobile capture. First of all, mobile capture will allow you to be more responsive to your customer requests, because captured images, text, and other input are sent directly into your processes for quicker and better customer service. Secondly, it will allow you to increase efficiency. Electronically submitted information eliminates the need for staff to manually enter data, which simplifies tasks and enhances efficiency. Thirdly, it allows you to improve quality and compliance of your operations. Mistakes that arise from manual data entry and lost documents are prevented, and your ability to effectively track and report on information is improved. And probably the most important one is the improvement of customer engagement. Customers and remote or mobile employees can quickly submit information to your enterprise application through their mobile devices for quicker customer service and a higher customer appreciation. That's my part of this presentation. Let me now hand over the microphone to Judd Millam, who will be talking about the product features for the remainder of this webinar.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Judd Millam, and I'm a product manager here at Perceptive Software. So in the following pages, I'm going to provide you with some insight into the functional side of Perceptive Mobile Capture. I'd like to show you a couple of specific examples where capturing images at the point of origin will provide a quick and easy solution for your business workflows. After that, I'm going to give you a quick look into the architecture of Perceptive Mobile Platform, followed by a summary of several key advantages of Perceptive Mobile Capture, and then we will open it up for questions. You may be interested to know that one of Perceptive's first customers of Perceptive Mobile Capture was in the healthcare industry. This example describes a real-world scenario of a clinician capturing patient photos into perceptive content. In order to record a dermatology patient's office visit, the clinician, John, launches Perceptive Mobile Capture on his iPhone. Perceptive Mobile Capture is built on the notion of organize first, then acquire. On this screen, John organizes an image set. Once the image set is configured, configuration is defined, he can begin to place the needed content into it. Here, he leaves the image set name as the default value of date and time. However, if he wanted to change the name, he could easily do so by simply placing focus on the field. Next, he associates the capture profile with the image set. Here is called clinical photo. He can now start to acquire his patient's photos either through the native camera module or camera roll to document the visit. After taking a few photos of his patient's hand, the images are stored client-side within the Thumbnails tab, which, if you notice, is highlighted in blue at the bottom of the screen. John then navigates to the Properties tab, where he enters the necessary information as defined by the Clinical Capture Photo Profile, which includes the patient's body part and laterality. He then uploads the image set, which becomes a document within Perceptive Content and is subsequently linked to the patient's electronic medical record. With this next example, I'm going to show you a use case that is more universal and that most all of us have experience with, and that is travel and expense. You may also be interested to know that this process that I'm going to show you is the same process that we here at Perceptive as employees leverage in order to submit our own expense reports. So here we have Paula, for example, an employee here at Perceptive, which needs to submit her expense report from a recent conference. And so she logs into Perceptive Mobile Capture with her assigned username and password. Once she's authenticated to Perceptive Content, she lands within the capture screen, which will allow her to update an existing image set, which, as you see here, there are 3 shown, or she can create a new one. So Paula creates a new image set and changes the name from the default date and timestamp to a name that is meaningful to her. She then associates the TEA Mobile Capture profile to the image set, and it's now time to start acquiring images of the associated receipts. Paula needs to take a photo of a receipt, so she presses the camera button and acquires the image. Here she can either retake or use. She can also acquire a receipt photo that resides within her camera roll. Paula selects the Add Existing control and then selects the image or images that she needs from her camera roll. Once she has acquired all the necessary receipt images, she navigates to the Properties tab to enter the associated metadata as defined by the capture profile. Perceptive Mobile Capture provides the convenience and flexibility to enter metadata in a variety of ways, which includes manual entry with the native QWERTY keyboard, leveraging the speech-to-text engine, or scanning a barcode. Here at Perceptive, we are issued an SAP travel number, which must be included in our report submittals for the linking purposes. As shown here, Paula places focus within the barcode scan property field, and then she scans the SAP trip number barcode, and then that barcode value is entered automatically into the property field. She then verifies that she has all the necessary receipt images to complete the report, and then she uploads the expense report document successfully to Perceptive Content. So next I'm going to speak a little bit about the architecture of the mobile platform. So this diagram here depicts the architecture of the Perceptive mobile client and its interaction with the Perceptive server. So on the left, we begin with a Perceptive mobile client communicating with integration server via REST-based web services of HTTP, which also includes the supported SSL transport communication. Integration server then communicates the requested transactions such as authentication, document data, images, forms, to the Perceptive server to access the requested data and documents from the database and OSM respectively. The entire architecture supports secure communication and adheres to the access and action privileges as defined for the user by the administrator. Perceptive Mobile Capture offers a variety of key functional advantages, and here I'd like to quickly discuss several of them. So in terms of advanced image enhancement, you can take advantage of Lexmark's industry-leading advanced image enhancement capabilities to ensure the highest image quality. So for example, for user convenience, we can automate functions such as perspective crop and deskew in order to optimize the experience. And in future releases, image processing will be fully automated. Offline capability. This is a new and exciting concept here at Perceptive. With Perceptive Mobile Capture, users can now perform a variety of functions within the application while not connected to Perceptive content, such as image acquisition, image processing, entering the associated metadata, and managing the image set library. Then at a time and location that's convenient, the user can upload the content at that time. Security. So we're all concerned with mobile security and protecting proprietary information from being leaked. As a result, Perceptive Mobile Capture supports a variety of security enhancements at every level to protect your sensitive information. Examples would include connected and disconnected password enforcement, client-side encryption, and transport encryption. In addition, once an image set is uploaded to Perceptive content, all the information associated with that image set is purged from the device. No data is cached. So altogether, this provides system administrators with the confidence that confidential information is not being lost through their mobile workforce. The Perceptive platform on the go, tied directly into your Perceptive process and content solution from anywhere while leveraging Perceptive's new and innovative Evolution platform. This will ensure compliant storage and easy accessibility to all content in your business processes and applications through a mobile device. So this concludes my Perceptive Mobile Capture discussion for today. I hope you found this helpful and informative, so thank you for listening. So now let's open it up for your comments and questions.
Thank you very much, Judd. I really appreciate it. Like you said, we will now open it up for questions, and it looks like we do have a couple of questions that we can answer. The first one is, with medical capture, can you remove the date and timestamp and use that field to populate with the patient name or some other value that identifies the patient you are working with at that time?
You can. So the date and timestamp is simply a default value that we are using for convenience purposes. However, if that date and timestamp is not convenient and I want to use a value that's more meaningful to me, I can definitely do so. I simply select that field, place focus on that field, and then I can enter the value that I want to place in a variety of ways. I can manually enter that leveraging the native QWERTY keyboard. I can scan a barcode and put in a value, or I can leverage the native speech-to-text engine and just talk and apply that information.
Thank you, Judd. Another question that we have, can Perceptive Knowledge web clients use this product as well?
Yes, that's a good question. In fact, we anticipated that might come up. So bottom line is the answer is no. We've actually not done any integration testing with the different two products, and we don't have any plans as it exists today to do so.
Perceptive Core could be leveraged to hand it off, but it's not really a direct integration.
Okay. Can the capture be integrated with an ERP for staff uploads without direct access to image now?
So Perceptive Mobile Capture leverages, or I should say uploads all of its content to either Perceptive Content or the Perceptive Core. So if you're looking at a process whereby the content itself is not stored within content, then what you can do is leverage Perceptive Core in order to, it'll upload to Core and then it will pass off the information to whatever system or area that you need it to. So we could not tie directly into your system, but we can do so indirectly through Perceptive Core.
Okay, this came in a couple of times. Is it available both Apple and Android devices?
Okay, good question. So Perceptive Mobile Capture is in the App Store today, and it is optimized for the iPhone. It will work on an iPad, but the presentation layer is not optimized for the iPad. And that optimization layer should be coming out before the end of the year. And then we are currently under development for the Android portion of this. So as it stands today, it's iOS only with Android soon to follow.
Okay. Another one that we also got a couple of times, the licensing and how it works.
Yes. So today how it works in terms of licensing, there are basically two components of that. We don't license the client, so the mobile client itself, you can download from the App Store today. That's free of charge. There's no license for that. It just needs to be configured to the server. And then the second component of that is integration server, which we discussed on the architecture diagram. So there is integration server, and then the third component is the mobile user license. That's a concurrent user license, and those are required today for the mobile platform. Those are priced in a tiered form. The only disadvantage that we have today in terms of the licensing is while you can purchase a mobile license as a standalone license, on 6.7, mobile is not included in the combo license today, but as we transition to 7.0 in the future, then mobile will be added to the combo license. So today it's a standalone license, but when we get to 7.0, it will be a standalone license as well as a piece of the combo license.
And then to hop back to the previous question, does it work with Windows?
So the Windows platform is one that is on our roadmap. Our number one priority is iOS, mainly because of its predominance in the enterprise space. Our second priority is Android, just simply because of its market share worldwide. And then our third priority is Windows. So iOS is available today. Android is coming towards the end of the year 14, beginning of the year 15. Once we've released our Android version, then we will begin working on Windows.
And here are a couple that are specific to verticals, if you will. One is just HIPAA and the data, how is it protected? And then the next, have you seen retail banks apply mobile capture? So two different questions, but.
Yeah, so protecting data. So we protect the data in a variety of ways. So you probably heard me talk about password compliance. So that's the first thing that you'll see at the client level. In order for me to gain access to the application, I have to enter into my username and password and authenticate against the server. In addition to that, you probably also heard me talk about disconnected user. I can also access the content that is client-side in a disconnected state, which means I'm not connected to a server. So if I'm not authenticating against the server, there's still a security level in there whereby I still have to put in a user-defined PIN code in order to gain access to that information. And in the event that I am using a device that is shared amongst a department, those PIN codes actually separate out or sandbox the data by PIN code. So in other words, if I enter my PIN code, I can only see the information associated with my PIN code. I could not see the information associated with Paul's, for example, and vice versa. In addition, we have other things such as we have transport encryption, so we support HTTPS and SSL. We also support client-side encryption that encrypts the data as it resides within the client. And then in terms of additional security down the road, we're going to bring in other things such as a new and innovative product called iVerify, which is just an alternative way of authenticating using a scan of the vein content of the white portion of your eye. We're also looking at something that we call photo with incorrect creds. So in the event that somebody is trying to access my information but has entered either the passcode or the username and password incorrectly 3 times, it'll take a picture of that person and upload it to content in a predefined location, and then other things such as geofencing and so on and so forth. So we take the security of the metadata and the images very seriously. And then the second one, I think, was specifically around banking. And so, yes, we've actually looked at banking quite a bit, and we're taking a different path with the banking industry. So, well, I don't want to say it the wrong way. So we have some flexibility. It's not that we're taking a different path. We have some flexible options for the banking industry to consider. One of them would be to use Perceptive Mobile Capture in its native form, but we're also working on a different strategy for the banking industry that is defined around 3 pillars. One of them is check deposit, the other one is mobile bill pay, and the other one is account opening. And those are very specific features that the banking industries need, and those are needs that we want to satisfy. But at the same time, what we found in the banking industry is most of the bankers already have an existing mobile application. So they're not really looking to purchase a mobile application from a software company, but rather they're looking to purchase technologies to improve the experience of their already existing application. And so that's what we're doing. We're working on an SDK bundle that will allow banking industries, or I'm sorry, banking institutions to purchase Perceptive developed technologies in those areas that I just described and integrate them into their already existing mobile application.
Is it possible to use mobile for workflow?
So today's webinar is for Perceptive Mobile Capture, but indeed we have a workflow client that is also available today. It's available on iOS, Android phone, as well as Windows tablet, and that allows users mobile access into workflow where you can view the workflow processes, the associated workflow queues, and the documents found within. And then by routing forward, you can approve. So yes, we have that available today.
Okay. Is the barcode scanner bundled with the mobile capture?
Yes, it is. The barcode scanner is something that we developed internally, leveraging the new iOS 7 APIs. So it's a very nice, accurate, quick barcode reader, and it is native to the client itself.
Okay. It appears capture application needs to always be connected to the network. What happens if it is not connected at the time of capturing the incident?
So there's in my opinion, on the mobile side, the capture it can come in multiple stages. So in terms of the ability to acquire an image, apply image processing to that image or images, enter the associated metadata, and manage all of that, I can do that while I'm connected to the server, no problem. But I can also do that when I'm not connected to the server. So really, in my mind, the question becomes, what's the upload experience? And so if I'm connected to the server and I upload, then I have connectivity, and that goes through just fine. If I'm in a disconnected state, then I either have to do one of two things. I either have to log in and authenticate, and I can upload, or the standard things. If I simply don't have an air interface at that time, whether I don't have a stable Wi-Fi network or I don't have any GSM CDMA network to connect to, I simply can leave those images and metadata client side in the secure, passcode protected memory and upload them when I do get network status.
Okay. And kind of in line with what you talked about, mobile devices. I know we've talked about Apple, Android, but how about iPad, tablet?
So in the mobile world, we talk about phones and tablets quite a bit, and who knows? Apple just released the iWatch. Well, so what are we going to do with that? That's an interesting question. I'm not sure. Typically, what we do when we look at, I talked earlier a little bit about our priorities. So we look at iOS first, Android second, and Windows third. And so within each of those, what we typically have done, and we can always listen to your feedback to see maybe our priority isn't accurate, but what we do in iOS is we put our first priority on iPhone and then iPad second. But yes, any application or module that we all come out with will support both iPhone and iPad. It's the same thing with Android. Our first priority when we start developing on Android will be the phone, Android phone, with the tablet becoming second. So we'll optimize the presentation layer for the phone first, then we'll come back in and optimize the presentation layer for the tablet second, whether we're working with either one of those operating systems.
What version of Perceptive Capture must you have in order to use the mobile client?
Perceptive Capture. Not sure. It's more just content. Just answer from that. Oh, okay. So in order to leverage Perceptive Mobile Capture today, you have to be on 6.7. I hope that's what you were looking for.
I think that's what they're looking for, and that's why I asked, but I wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Will this work with image now, 6.6? This person is not updated yet, and they just want to know.
6.6 leveraged a server component called Message Agent, and the mobile platform today leverages Integration Server. So unfortunately, this will not work on 6.6, but once you upgrade and move to 6.7, you'll be good to go.
Okay. Couple more questions before we round this out for the day. What kind of content can be captured?
So today in its first release, the type of content that can be captured is limited to still images. And we have the ability to save those still images either as a JPEG or a PNG file format. Now, what we're going to be doing is probably when we get done with the Android development, we're going to start bringing in other forms of capture that are native to the mobile platform. So these will be things such as video capture, sound file capture, MMS, SMS capture, capturing an image from your mobile web browser, or capturing an email out of your email client, things of that nature. So still images today, but we have plans to really bring a robust set of acquisition types to the mobile platform in the near future.
And what are the image processing capabilities?
So in terms of image processing today, it's all manual. We are moving to some really interesting functionality where it will all be automated. But in terms of what we offer today, again, I talked a little bit about the ability to save as a PNG or JPEG, so that's one option. You also have in there the option to save those images. You know, when we're talking about a mobile device, we're talking about memory constraints possibly. We're talking about transport size. So when we upload, you know, do we want a large image? Do we want a small image? And then, of course, when it's received and it resides on the server, how much server space will that take up? So another one of the processing tools we have is giving the ability to the user to define the resolution size of the image. And then, of course, some of the basic standard image processing things like rotating left, rotating right, the ability to crop in a variety of ways, the ability to de-skew the image, and things of that nature.
Okay. And can a photo be uploaded into the mobile capture from device photo storage, or does it need to have the live input from the device camera?
Yeah, so when acquiring an image into an image set, users have the flexibility of bringing in an image both ways. So you can leverage the native camera module and take a picture of something that will reside client-side with the application. However, if you also have images that you need to bring in that reside within your personal camera roll, you can do that as well.
Okay. Can you touch on anonymous login a little bit?
So anonymous login is something that's supported today in terms of like WebNow, for example. However, anonymous login is not yet supported on the mobile platform. It's on our roadmap, but it's something that you will probably see sometime first quarter, second quarter of 2015.
Okay, let's do one last question. This person just wanted you to repeat the release date for the Android devices.
Okay, so we don't have a specific date yet. There's a lot of native things that go on with iOS versus Android, and there's quite a bit of differences in between there. But really what we're shooting for is to have our Android product released by the end of the year. So really kind of what you're looking at is released by the end of the year. So hopefully anywhere between December, January, February, and March, that 4-month time frame is when Android will be available.
So Q1 or shortly thereafter.
Yeah, into 4th Q, into Q1.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Well, I really appreciate everyone's time today, especially Paul and Judd. Thank you very much. Again, if you have any additional questions, please reach out. Their emails were listed, or reach out to your AEX as well, and they will follow up promptly. I know some people had issues with sound initially. We will send this recording back out to everyone if you weren't able to hear, so please keep your eyes open for that sometime next week.